Before we begin this, while I have predicted over the course of reviewing the story a few things, one of those things, if not a few of those things, has come true. So, I get to play this clip.
Fuck you, I was right! Fuck you, I was right! Fuck you, I was right!
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, the fight we chose, finale, chapter 12. This ending has been a long time coming, and as much as it saddens me that the story has ended on the note it did, and left me somewhat unsatisfied, a few things have come out of it. And I'm not going to go into it because I want you to go read the finale yourself. But what I will say is that the things it did touch on, I personally did call out. If the Razor Fist clip wasn't anything to go by. Well, the one thing I did call out was the military use of demi-humans. Demi-humans and beastmen are going to see a very much so big military incentive. I wouldn't be surprised if there are literally recruiters or even specialized pampering for demi-humans and beastmen, and even them being used as examples of what a good fucking soldier can be. I mean, even in the story itself, there are NATO officers being told the feats of beastmen, their combat prowess, their abilities to handle themselves. Even talks of using them to work alongside bomb dogs, or, bomb disposal dogs. I wouldn't be surprised that DEA, FBI, and other law enforcement agencies in the coming years are fucking clamoring at the bit to get themselves some canine beastmen, or even canine demi-humans, to find them drugs. Of course, in the story, there are those who, sadly, are going about the whole thing of, they took our Deebs!
They took our jobs! Yeah, they took our jobs! They did!
First time using a South Park clip. First time. But, what I will say is that it's the 1960s. This is inevitable. However, the relationship between Dennis and the ex, Bunny Warrior Queen, does blossom a little more. There is more explored in the relationship, and it is done tastefully. The ending I do enjoy, but the one thing that stirred my heart and made me do Robin from Anime America, throwing up rainbows because of how kawaii it was, is Charlotte learning English and speaking with a southern accent, even declaring that she will be a fucking ranger, and that Dennis has to stay until she gets to him, and damn it! If only we had an epilogue, a time skip, if you will. Something to just... a payoff, or at least another story, a sequel story, following Charlotte. Again, I can only hope that the author allows us to follow Charlotte as she explores the 1980s, because technically speaking, if we're going by the actual age of the little girl, of this adorable good girl Charlotte, she technically would be of age by the 1980s, and again, the 1980s is that perfect era because cocaine, Reaganomics, Americanism, the war in the Middle East, that whole drug war with the cartels. Again, the 1980s is that exceptionism and just absolute glorious thing. But I'm getting ahead of myself of things I would love to see, things that would make sense. But there is a revenge plot in this finale, and one that I think paid off really well. That showed revenge is not worth it. But what I will say is that the story as a whole ended perfectly, in my opinion. It ended in a beautiful note. It ended where it needed to. And it worked out in the end. It really did. I loved it. I loved where it ended. It ended perfectly, in my opinion. But again, I can only hope that the story does return for the 1980s, or at least for the 70s even. I would love to see a time skip. I would love to see how things pan out for everyone. And in the end, it's just one of those things. But, as I stated before, if you want to see this yourself, go read it. As for an ending to it, if this was to be, say, a season 1 of sorts, I could see this as a season 1 finale. Because that's what it feels like. It feels like the ending for a first season. Or at least the setup for a spin-off. Because Charlotte is now the good girl. And to the author himself, if you make patches of Good Girl Charlotte, you know damn well I'm going to try and get a patch. Because, by God, I have a Doge patch. I have a few patches, including a Section 9 patch. By God, I'm going to get more waifu patches. But, till then, I've stated my piece for The Fight We Chose, Chapter 12. And until then, ladies and gentlemen, I are going to... well... before I get to the next PayPal review, I think it's best to end off another beautiful Gate story. With Kaiserreich, thus the Bear of the West fought there, with its Season 1 finale. Till then, ladies and gentlemen.